Hello and welcome to a brand new Priority Report. Each quarter, we will provide the members of MCUL and the shareholders of CUSG with an expanded report on the progress for both the association and CUSG. We'll break the report into two sections, the first covering current and future priorities for the association activities and those of our Credit Union National Association, and the second covering important information regarding CUSG's progress, including a short summary of financial highlights. So thanks for taking the time to watch. Now, before Ken gives his update on the association side, let me share some thoughts regarding the CUNA League partnership and how we're approaching these service areas in a broad context. First of all, this is an election year, and as a result, we're not expecting Congress to get much done between now and the end of the year. However, that gives us time to work with CUNA and with our sister leagues to strengthen and expand our legislative agenda for the next Congress. We continue to urge CUNA to seek a comprehensive update to the Federal Credit Union Act, just like we're doing here in Michigan with the State Credit Union Act. And we also want to get more aggressive and seek an outright exemption from the CFPB regulations for credit unions, again, in the next Congress. Other high priorities will be, of course, data breach legislation and holding the line on unnecessary NCUA regulations as well as unnecessary regulations from other federal agencies. But the election landscape, especially at the federal level, will have significant impact on our ability to get our agenda through Congress in the years ahead. CUNA and leagues don't typically get involved in the presidential election, but all of our congressional delegation is up for re-election. And we have 2 open seats this year that will be of particular interest to us. Ken will give an update on this in his portion of the priority report. But with regard to public relations, CUNA continues to represent your interests at the national level and participates regularly with the national media. A good example of this was a recent letter from CUNA CEO Jim Nussle to the Wall Street Journal, encouraging our banker friends to join us in seeking broad-based regulatory relief. Now, here at home, our CU Link cooperative advertising campaign has also started. Radio and digital advertising began in April, and our TV spots begin in May. This year's campaign is well funded thanks to your help. And now we ask you to integrate the campaign with your own advertising and help us make it an even better and stronger campaign in 2016. Another important issue to note before Ken provides his summary is that some of you have asked about the corporate credit union system resolution and whether you'll be seeing any money back from your share of the incredible $10 billion corporate credit union rescue process. I recently received a short summary on this from CUNA Senior Executive Bill Hampel, and the short answer to this question is that credit unions can expect to get back about 30% of the corporate stabilization funds, but this won't likely happen until 2021 or after. A lot of things could impact this positively or negatively, as there are legacy assets impacted by housing prices and our national economy. But the NCUA has done a good job of recovering around $400 million in legal settlements from Wall Street banks who underwrote the mortgage-backed securities. So stay tuned for more information on this important issue as it plays out. So now let me turn it over to Ken Ross for MCUL and CUNA highlights, as well as a look ahead into the coming months on the association side.
Thanks, Dave. While the media is closely watching the presidential contest play out, MCUL will be focusing on the congressional elections this fall. We have 2 seats from our congressional delegation open in November, specifically Representative Dan Benishek in the 1st District up north and Representative Candace Miller in the 11th District in the Macomb County area. Several candidates are still vying for these seats, including some current and former state senators from both parties. Thanks to the hard work of our government affairs team, we already have strong relationships with many of these candidates. And as a result of the generous contributions to our PAC fundraising, MCO will be able to help out candidates for these seats who are already supportive of credit union issues and can be counted on to support our industry once elected to Congress. Now, just a quick reminder on the Michigan Credit Union Act update. As you know, it's already passed out of the State House of Representatives and the Senate Banking Committee, All that's left at this point is to finalize a bit of language in a compromise with the bankers, followed by a vote on the Senate floor. And after that, it'll go to the House for concurrence and then to the governor's desk to be signed into law. I also want to update you on our Internal Controls and Fraud Task Force, which has met a couple times already. We've brought together legal, accounting, risk management, and compliance experts from around the state to examine our industry and to have candid discussions about fraud and where it's occurring. In addition to hearing from risk mitigation experts who work with the credit union industry, they're hearing from state and federal regulators, forensic accounting professionals, and CUNA Mutual. The task force will draft a white paper outlining best practices for fraud prevention, scaled to credit union size, identify inherent risks by activity, and summarize the recent results of a survey that we did concerning risk mitigation activities at Michigan credit unions. We're looking to present the white paper at our annual convention and exposition in Detroit this summer. Now turning to the national stage, MCUL and our partners at CUNA continue to urge Congress to exempt us from CFPB rulemaking. We feel strongly about this because while credit unions continue to bear the compliance burden associated with the many rules and regulations handed down by the CFPB, we all know that credit unions certainly weren't part of the problem that caused the Bureau to be created in the first place. CUNA recently released a study for lawmakers to better explain the tremendous regulatory burden we face. With the support of MCUL and other state leagues, CUNA teamed up with Cornerstone Advisors to research the impact that regulatory compliance has on the credit union bottom line. The study authors concluded that increased costs and reduced revenues due to regulation have cost our industry $7.2 billion since 2010. So what does that mean for Michigan? The CUNA study estimated that the annual cost of regulatory burden to Michigan credit unions is a whopping $302.8 million, or $64 per member. Our continuing concern is that the cost of all these additional regulatory burdens is an increasingly important factor in driving consolidation. This will be an important talking point in our future discussions with lawmakers in Washington, D.C. and Lansing. Now, before I get to our upcoming events, I want to say thank you. As you know, we just wrapped up our annual MCUL Government Affairs Conference in Lansing. To those of you that participated, I commend you for such a strong showing. Given how much time and effort we've put into the update of the MCUA over the past year, an event like this is a great opportunity to get together with our legislators and thank them for their work that they've done to help improve business conditions in this state for credit unions. That being said, I hope you'll mark your calendars to join us in Washington, D.C. at the end of September for our annual Hike the Hill event. Now to other upcoming events. MCUL and CUSG are focused on our annual convention, which is now just over a month away. I want to once again encourage you to register and join us on June 9th through the 11th at the Renaissance Center Marriott in Detroit. Our AC&E promises to be 3 days of insights, networking, and entertainment, a celebration of all the great work that you do across our great state. We have a pretty incredible lineup with Governor Rick Snyder, who's agreed to speak on Thursday morning. Jim Cash, millennial expert, will lead a breakout session on better attracting, serving, and retaining millennial members. Not only is he stopping by our AC&E, but he's also agreed to join us later in the summer for 2 more workshops to help credit unions capture this important demographic. We've also extended an invitation to Dan Gilbert, and we hope to have someone from Quicken Loan confirmed very soon. Finally, don't forget to join us Wednesday evening for our Michigan Credit Union Foundation Corks for a Cause fundraiser. The foundation continues to provide grants to credit unions from across the state to support community reinvestment initiatives and financial education. Beyond our annual convention, CUNA and MCUL have a full calendar of events in the coming months. From compliance and lending to HR and marketing, visit our site for a complete list or contact our education department. They can recommend the right training for your staff and volunteers to meet your needs. Now back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Ken. Before I report on MCUL's financial performance, I'd like to touch briefly on a few industry trends that we've been tracking over the past year. As you may have seen, NCUA and CUNA recently released their 2015 financial analysis, and it revealed that we're continuing down a very successful track that we've been on as an industry for the past few years now. Examples, Michigan Credit Union saw 2.6% overall membership growth last year, matching our results from 2014. The fastest growth credit unions in our state have seen since 1990. We are 4.8 million members strong, and that's pretty impressive. Loans are also up by over 10%, the fastest loan growth that our industry has seen in Michigan, likewise since 1994. As part of that growth, we saw a 23% plus increase in used auto loans, beating the national average, I might add. A 7% growth in member business lending, and a 43% lift in mortgage loans. Delinquency rates and charge-offs are also down slightly and remain at very low levels, and earnings for credit unions are up slightly, but they're at the 0.84% in terms of an ROA. And this is well above the national average for ROA for credit unions, which is at about 0.59% for last year. So this data continues to show great strength in net worth and earnings, accompanied with strong liquidity and very high asset quality. As such, we continue to encourage our credit union leaders and regulators to push our industry toward increased yet appropriate lending risk in order to serve the needs of credit union members and communities. Responsible lending that carefully adds lending risk or credit risk, default risk, to our balance sheets should be a high priority for credit unions. I encourage credit unions to visit the Industry Resources section of MCUL.org to get the latest state and national quarterly performance information from CUNA and the Michigan Credit Union League. With credit unions here in Michigan seeing so much financial success, I'm pleased to share that your league, thanks to the strong performance of CUSG, is also reporting strong financial results of its own, which in turn benefits our member credit unions and our CUSG shareholders. The league's member net assets grew modestly in the first quarter by 1.4% as our very low dues structure is complemented by the league's share of income from CUSG. As you know, the league derives less than 10% of its revenue from member dues. The vast majority of funding for MCUL's operation comes from investment gains on our portfolio and its 2/3 share of income from CU Solutions Group. So as CUSG financial performance goes, and as the investment markets go, so go MCUL's financial results each year. With that, I'd like to wrap up the MCUL section of the priority report. I look forward to any questions or comments on the new format and any feedback that you might have for us on topics that we covered today. CU Solutions Group finished the first quarter of 2016 with a year-to-date net income of $2.5 million, nearly $750,000 ahead of budget. Year-to-date revenue at CUSG has surpassed our targets, and operating expenses are down or below budget by about $200,000. All of this is thanks to the commitment that our member credit unions make to MCUL and to CUSG through affiliation, engagement, and support of our various solutions. Now I'd like you to hear the latest from CUSG President COO Drew Egan, and I'll be back at the end with a few comments to wrap up.
CU Solutions Group closed out the first quarter of 2016 with a promising outlook. Our divisions are hitting the mark across the board and are producing fantastic results for our credit union clients. The Love My Credit Union Rewards team is off to yet another great start, delivering big wins for the organization, system partners, credit unions, and credit union members alike. Beginning with the TurboTax program, our team is generating never-before-seen growth. The tax industry is at its most competitive level ever, yet our program has been able to manage a year-over-year growth rate of more than 10%. This double-digit growth far exceeds the overall growth rate this partner is currently experiencing, and they're certainly excited with our results. We also continue to see encouraging progress with our Sprint partnership. Through February, we've added more than 86,000 new lines to the program, and on March 1st, we launched our first ever joint campaign with Sprint. With the help of CUSG's marketing partner, Focus IQ, the 50/50 FICAVE Sprint referral campaign is offering big incentives to credit unions, credit union employees, and credit union members. Through this campaign, we'll be making a $5,000 donation to a charity on behalf of a winning credit union. rewarding a credit union employee and a credit union member each with a $5,000 prize. And we'll be distributing plenty of $50 Sprint account credits to new and referring Sprint users. If you'd like to get involved or find out more about this 50/50 5K campaign, visit Love My Credit Union Rewards for more information. With more than 900 participating credit unions, we're also seeing advancement with CU Road PAL. We're developing a training program for loan officers and frontline staff to help them better understand the features and benefits of our roadside assistant program. We're also working with system partners to introduce premium options to the program, including enhancements like auto-deductible reimbursement, extended towing, and Dent Defender. Our Marketing Solutions division is making a significant impact in Michigan and across the country with Save to Win. There are now more than 120 credit unions participating in the program, and we've surpassed 20,000 active accounts. We're in the process of onboarding credit unions in Indiana, Illinois, and Oregon, and we're working closely with other states that want to join. We're pleased to see this kind of traction with a program that rewards good savings habits. It's a benefit for both the credit union and its members. The Cube TV team has already had several important developments this year. With 16 units sold in just the first 3 weeks, our new turnkey video solution is quickly making a positive impression on credit unions. This new service allows credit unions to choose and customize professionally produced video for use in their lobbies, online, or on the air. Credit unions interested in more information on the turnkey video product can contact our Marketing Solutions division for more details. Technology Solutions is working on several large-scale projects, and we're seeing some good collaboration among our divisions. Starting with HR Performance Solutions, the two teams are working together on enhancements to Performance Pro. The next generation, Performance Pro 4, will include new functionalities and a modernized look and feel, and a more intuitive interface. Technology Solutions is collaborating with Lending and Operations Solutions on a pair of large-scale initiatives that we look forward to announcing at the annual convention and exposition in Detroit this summer. In the meantime, the team just launched a project that will increase data safety, security, and reliability, and are hard at work on a new batch of updates to their ever-popular content management system, CMS. HR Performance Solutions has had an impressive start in 2016, with year-over-year same-quarter sales up 250%. Year-to-date, they've acquired 60 new customers, including more than 20 credit unions across the country. The team is working in close conjunction with Focus IQ to extend marketing efforts in 3 core areas: lead generation, close ratio, and customer communications. They're taking steps to make Compese's industry-leading salary data even stronger by inviting 700 credit unions to participate in a salary survey. Make sure to watch for details. The team will be providing the valuable results free of charge to participating credit unions. Our Lending and Operations Solutions team is working with Technology Solutions to develop an HR and training website that we're planning to launch in June. The site will provide webinars and online training tools that will make lending and operations products more accessible. Moreover, the team is taking steps to expand the services available to Michigan credit unions while reducing travel costs. Many products and services are now being offered remotely at reduced costs. Looking ahead to the next quarter, they're working on 2 lending-related services geared toward the Military Lending Act and changes made to the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. Turning a final focus back home to Michigan, we're pleased to report another strong start. Led by TruStage Insurance and Wealth Management, CUNA Mutual Group increased revenue for their core business by more than 5% year over year. They were able to pay $1.1 billion in benefits to policyholders and beneficiaries and contributed more than $40 million to credit union-related organizations. If you haven't heard, Michigan Solutions also launched a new turnkey credit card solution called Optimize. This offering helps credit unions generate revenue streams by focusing on 4 key elements: acquisition, activation, usage, and retention. Partners FIS and CSCU launched a 12-month marketing campaign around Optimize, and in the first quarter alone, we've seen 5 Michigan credit unions produce significant program growth. Finally, the Michigan Solutions team and your league representatives will be hitting the road in May for a series of Lunch and Learn sessions. Events are scheduled throughout the Southeast, West, and Northern Michigan. If you're interested in learning more about Optimize or any of our products and services, make sure to reach out to your league rep for details. With that, I'll turn things back over to Dave Adams.
Well, I hope you found this quarterly update valuable. It's part of our effort to be transparent to our stakeholders regarding our priorities and our future focus. We have a very dedicated team of staff and our board of directors all working on your behalf, and we remain very positive about our ability to help credit unions be even more successful as a result of our efforts. So as we look to the rest of the year, we're hoping to do more with product development as well as complete 1 or more small acquisitions to expand our product suite. We know that our continued efforts to retool our core solutions will be critical for our future success, and we'll be making several important announcements in June that will signal new directions for the company. So thank you for your support, and I hope that you found this update useful.